like the desert's mystery. Back on the train, that's why did I come again? And can I confess, I've been hanging around your address. Years of proof to offer nothing since you're all gone. I can't move on, and that is you.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Another feedback stream, and I'm super excited for this one. We have Abel, who's a good friend of mine, who is also an A&R for Purified Records. How's it going, buddy?
Hey man, good. How's it going?
Doing well, doing well. What's going on in Abel's world?
I lost my voice this weekend at Shambhala, so I'm a little
Yeah, I
trying to get my
saw.
voice back.
I saw it was gonna. It was wild, actually. I heard like it was gonna. It was a crazy party. A bunch of just like people going pretty crazy. Even John Summit had a big revelation during the Shambhala event where he just became the nicest person possible.
Yeah,
Um,
I heard about that.
yeah, it's good to hear. You know what I mean? Um, I think we're ready to dive deep into it. We have a lot of exciting tracks. I was super excited to see that there were so many entries. Unfortunately, we only have a limited amount of time, so we'll get through it. Get through as many as we possibly can. But before we even get started, can you give me a little introduction of yourself, like how you began, how you got involved with Purified, how you got into A&R, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I've been working for Nora and Pure for the past 5 years, and then before COVID, is when Purified started in 2019. Obviously, like touring is great and all, but you need like another kind of income to survive.
Hmm.
So she offered me a position with the label, and then during COVID, it was kind of like the only thing going on. Obviously, no touring or any shows happening, so I kind of just like dove into the role of the A&R and label manager at the time. So it's kind of just been keeping me busy, and I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and it's always cool to like listen to new stuff and kind of like see where the vision's going for the label.
Nice. Have you ever gotten some ridiculous tracks that are like completely like out of not even close to Purified?
Yeah, man, all the time. Sometimes people just like cold email me, and it's not. I mean, it's like I just listen to see how it is. But yeah, some of the stuff is like completely like I don't know what you were thinking, man. Like, why are you sending this to somebody? Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it happens sometimes.
Yeah, I remember when I started a small label, which funnily enough was like trademark. I started a label called Plus Minus Recordings, and we got a cease and desist by Minus, which is Richie Houghton's records label. But we used to get like we were techno and melodic, house label, and we used to get so many we used to get so many different demos which were related to hip hop and like some like crazy rap music. I'm like, dude, this guy did not even know what this label's all about. But yeah, man, I think that's pretty crazy where you guys have come with Purified. One thing I was always curious about is like, how do you guys decide when to change the direction of a label? How does that even come about?
I guess more of the seasons, like usually like depending. I mean, obviously during COVID, it was more like streaming stuff, like stuff that you would kind of want to play. Like so, we basically were more like focused on signing stuff that was streamable, like you could listen to like in the car or like
Hmm.
at home. But now obviously shows are back and people are like going to clubs and seeing performances live. So you want to
Hmm.
have something more club hits, kind of like you would
Yeah.
play out and at a festival or like at a venue. But yeah, so just kind of depends on the season and like obviously with time and more or less we kind of try to like vary it from like more the
Hmm.
vocal tracks or something that's just like more melodic. It doesn't have any vocals in it at all.
True.
So
That makes sense. That makes so much sense.
yeah.
Did you have any like recommendations for producers regarding what kind of like what's the best way to approach labels such as Purified, and like is there like an expectation from them, like should they have some music already released in the past, should they have their socials at a certain amount of like followers, anything that you think is like things the producer should consider before even approaching labels like Purified?
It's a good question. I think as far as like if your music is good and it has quality and if you have a good like vision behind your art, the project
Mm-hmm.
that you're starting,
Mm-hmm.
then by all means like we'll sign it if it's something that's good. But like as far as like social, like the image has to be right. Like we don't want to sign somebody that's like that looks like they're just out partying all the time and like kind of just in it for the clout, or somebody that's like showing too much skin as like a female, or like kind of
Mm-hmm.
just like it's kind of it has to be like a natural fit more or less.
Yeah.
But we don't really look at like the numbers, or like we do check the releases to see if they have anything under their belt. But
Mm-hmm.
if we're the first, a lot of the guys on the label are the first time ever signing something is with us.
Yeah.
So it varies depending on like the artist and who the person is.
Yeah, I think, yeah, one of the things I think people overlook is like, the label is such a deep label. For example, Purified is such a deep label. It's all about, trying to help the ocean animals, and, make sure that to purify the ocean, etc. And then if someone approaches you, I guess, with, more like shallow approach to their socials, it might not fit with the brand too well, right? So I guess that makes complete sense to me. Oh, Phonic Youth is in the chat. Say hi to Phonic Youth, guys. He's another Purified artist as well. great guy from SF. Welcome to this stream, buddy. Okay, so I think those are all the questions that I had. I think we can start. We can start going through the music. So, just in case you guys just joined and weren't keeping track of what was happening on the Discord, to prioritize tracks, and only have a limited amount of time. So to prioritize tracks, what we're gonna do is we're gonna, put the people who buy Aquila, the song that's available on Beatport for pre-order on Purified Records, and if you can DM me on Discord the receipt, I'll be happy to put you in queue for the tracks that are going to be listened to first. And to start off, we have Sequoia crossing borders. Let me know when you're ready, Abel, and we can start listening to them together.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Chat, let me know if the sound and everything is good. Okay, I'm gonna assume that this is the outro, so we can stop here. Abel, what are your thoughts?
1 second.
How do you feel about this?
Hold on, I'm trying to pause it.
Oh, take your time. It's hilarious, yeah. Wharfy on Discord or Crossing Borders is it's actually his anniversary, and he's like hiding from his girlfriend while listening to the stream right now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Sorry,
can
I
hear
was
you.
trying to find it. I couldn't pause it.
Yeah, it's all good. We can hear you. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, how did you feel about that track?
I like parts of it, but I feel like it just needs more. It's not that complex, so it's very good. I like the intro, the beginning part of it, but like something, it's like missing something in the middle.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it's not bad.
Yeah.
It needs a little bit more complexity to it in
Yeah.
order for it to be on the label. Like, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's my feedback on this one.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things that I would say as well. Like every instrument is super individual, which sounds great, but I think there's more complexity that could be added in the progression of each instrument. Like you could open things off with cutoff, add layers to it, have more like crazy pads, like in order to just going in and out, like making the track very breathable. In the vibe setting, the track sounds pretty nice. There's a decent amount of vibes, but I think it's like a good starting point. I think it needs a little bit more complexity, as Abel mentioned. I think you need to add more layers to the synths, maybe opening up the white noise, maybe opening up some of the hats, adding layers of like white noise hats and other similar type of instruments. Just adding more complexity, ear candy, and all of that stuff is one of the things that people constantly miss out on and forget. So that's something you should always pay attention to. All right, I think we lost Abel for a second. Yeah, your video is off. Maybe you want to turn off your video and turn it back on. Yeah, let's see, now you're back. All right, perfect. All right, next up we have Jeffrey Murdoch. Jeffrey, I will be listening to your first track. I'm assuming that's the one that you want to get the feedback. We're going to be listening to one track first of everybody, and then if we have time, we'll go and check out the second track, etc. But I think there's a lot of people to go through, so we'll just go through one. So we're just going to go over Chrysalis. All right, Ava, let me give this to you. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3, let's go. this is the outro, so we can stop here.
That was really good.
Right? Yeah. What are your thoughts, man?
This one had a little bit more complexity than the first one. The drop was really cool. Like, I feel like the beginning could use a little more work, but I feel like overall the track was really good, and I would even consider sending this out to like Purified or a label. But it's really good. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I was vibing with this too, especially the synth work. The synth work was super special to me. There's like a
Hmm.
lot of like movement in the synth, which is super cool, and I love the melodic techno vibes to it, especially with the synths being like having a bit of attack to them. So that creates that
Yeah.
like air that creates a very interesting lead experiment. The one thing I feel like could be improved upon is adding more how do you say effects to things, like adding more
Hmm.
tension and release between 16 bars, so it doesn't seem like it just it's the same energy throughout the track. You're building more and more tension as the breakdown is going and as the drop is going, etc. And even within 16 bars within the drop, there's more excitement going consistently.
Yeah.
But overall, I think this was like a beautiful track. I think also a potential contender for like track of the stream. So I'm gonna keep this on the left hand side, and maybe we'll consider. And if you win track of the stream, then I might have something special for you after the stream. So you know, you guys all submit your best work. Next up, we have
Is this guy one of your students as well? From that track that you
no,
showed?
no. Gabriel is not. Gabriel is not one of my students.
Okay.
He's a newcomer. He sounds fantastic though.
Yeah, really good stuff. I like his sound.
Yeah. The next one, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name. It's binary. All I'm gonna say. Okay. One advice that I would have when you're picking artist names, please like pick something that is searchable. This is not nobody's
Yeah,
gonna be able to.
also make sure that it's not like somebody else's name or something, because you never know that
Yeah.
somebody can come after you for that.
Yeah, shout out to Off the Grid. Never, yeah, you can't have that. So yeah, I think one of my students actually reached out to me out east. He was like, "Yeah, I found another out east, so it's probably important for you to not, have the same name." So yeah, probably good to think about that. But yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna be able to replicate this binary unless this binary means something, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
tough. But it's by, I think the artist is actually Sonartica. That's there in the chat. So yeah, we're gonna start listening
Oh,
to you.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Cool. You
yeah.
ready for this?
All right, I'm ready.
All right,
One,
one.
2, 3, let's go. That's the outro. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this one?
Hold on, wait a second. I'm getting another song in my headphones. One sec.
The unlimited tabs issue. Yeah, I thought this track was pretty interesting. I think the groove was interesting as well. I feel like this a track like this could be something I would see on labels like Crosstown Rebels, maybe because it has this like mystic energy to it and a little bit of groove. I in
Yeah,
my
really groovy track, honestly.
right.
And I think he just started that this morning. I think he put on there that he started this track this morning.
Yeah, he did. So that's not bad for like, something that was just started today, Um though I know certain producers that are kind of crazy and they produce like 7 tracks a day. Shout out to Niall Young. That guy's a legend.
Oh
Um
yeah,
yeah, other than that, I think one of the things that I like really stood out to me is like I think it becomes really repetitive after a while. You need to really always think about like are you creating tension and release within the songs, like what is the purpose of the arrangement? The purpose of arrangement is to tell a story and to evolve into more and more exciting stuff, so either bringing up the energy or like introducing emotions, introducing new leads, whatever. This track is more groovy, so it's not necessarily important for you to introduce more leads per se, but adding more like percussions, adding more faster hats, etc., etc., could be super important. Mix wise, I had some also the low end is a little too, it's very unclear to me where the kicks sub starts and when the bass sub begins. Sorry, when the kick sub ends and the bass sub begins, because it's like kind of just muddy in that and everything is kind of like just becoming one sub bass. I would see if the attack of the kick, or sorry, the release of the kick, or even the even the end of the tail of the kick could be reduced a little bit, or maybe find a different kick, or even just bring up the mids of the bass a little bit so that people can hear the groovy elements of the bass. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
yeah. I mean, I agree. I feel like if he works on this song, maybe a couple more sessions on it, it has potential to be a pretty good release as a single, or you pair it with an EP.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think it's not a bad tune, and I wouldn't get rid of it by any chance. I would just like work on it and improve the groove a little bit, and yeah,
Yeah,
have more stuff going on. Even percussions and etc. every 16 bars to keep things exciting is super important.
yeah,
All
it's
right.
not bad. I really enjoyed that one. I kind of felt like I was in Tulum or something.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about Tulum. I miss my place so bad. All right. So next up we have Harsh with Flutter, and Harsh or Alizwed is a student of mine, and he's been killing it a lot. Like his music is getting really really good, so I'm super excited to hear it. Yeah, and hear your thoughts. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for it. 1 second. All right, um, I got it. I'm ready to go.
All right. 3, 2, 1, let's go. I think this is the outro, so we can just stop over here. Yeah, man, what did you think of that one?
It's probably my favorite so far.
Nice. So this guy goes to one of the front. Yeah, what did you think? What did you like? What did you not like, etc.?
I love the intro. The intro was captivating. Like, you know, if I heard this as a demo, I'd probably consider signing it. So if you want to send it my way,
Nice.
uh,
That's
I'll
that's
see if we can sign it.
that's big news, buddy.
Yeah. So if you wanna get my email,
Yeah, I'll connect you guys afterwards. We'll figure that out after. But
yeah, I
congrats.
felt like
Yeah.
I was gonna say I felt like it was also telling us like a story. You know, like this whole track was like a
Yeah.
really cool story. It was beautiful, honestly. Really nice stuff.
Yeah, I really liked it too. I love how it was like very soft and like it had like times when the synth was super dynamic. It was very like loud, and like at certain times it was really quiet, like and subtle and it's slowly creeping into things. So that shows a lot of thought into the progression, especially. And the counter melody coming in and out with the arpeggio was like super engaging. So I never felt like I was bored, even though the arpeggio was like pretty much the same arpeggio in terms of notes. But
Yep.
there's a lot of things happening, and even in the middle there was like an arpeggio changing keys, going higher. So really, really, really good job, man. Yeah, this could be the track of the stream. So we'll see what happens. But congratulations on that one, guys. Give a round of applause in your own places for this one. The next one we have is Ocean's Call by Mottry. Let me send you this one, Abel. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
Symphony of water, a soulful restraint, replenishing what's ordered, a graceful embrace. In the currents of the night, we hear the ocean.
Nice, man. What did you think of that one?
It was really good, man. I really enjoyed it, and I think that the only thing I have to say about it is that it's negative is just the vocals. Some parts it's kind of hard to hear what he's trying to say, but yeah, it's really good, captivating, and I think it's up there for sure. Could also
Yeah.
be a good release as well.
Yeah. I felt like the vibe is pretty great.
Yeah, it's kind of took you on a journey, and I feel like some of the track like you couldn't tell if it was gonna go like darker or even like
Mhm.
or like a harder techno kind of vibe. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely love the sound design stuff. One of the notes that I had is like in the breakdown, there are some sound design elements that really lack some low end. I wouldn't filter the lows out too much on those because that creates the energy of the track. That creates like a lot of like intensity in the track. Or if they don't have low end, maybe layer it with some low end. You could even find some things like the orchestral stabs by some, just cinematic sample packs, etc. That could go in the lower end. Someone hitting like a big drum, kick drum kind of thing, or just adding like a subby layer to it, or not even a subby, even the mid layer oscillator could be good. And other than that, even the bass sometimes feels like it's not driving me enough. So see if there's some like low end missing in there, or if there's something that's like limiting the low end to be heard, maybe phasing or anything of that sort. But in general, I think the quality is great, and I love my rolling bass line, so I was pretty happy with this one. Thanks for submitting, by the way, Ocean. Matri. All right. Next up, we have Burbala. Let me send this to you. Abel. Let me know when you're ready.
All right. Yep.
All right. Time to listen to some flow. 3, 2, 1, go. Thanks for stopping by, Phonic Youth. Nice one, man. What did you think of this one?
Um, yeah, again, thought was the intro was cool, but didn't really like capture any like for me it wasn't like catchy or like didn't have anything really that I it kind of felt like it was a little all over the place, and some of the sound it just didn't sound like it didn't like fit together some of the parts of the
Hmm.
track.
Yeah, I kind of felt I echo on that sentiment. I think one of the things that one of the things that was missing is like I'm feeling the drums and the grooves of organic house, but then the approach is a little bit more a slightly higher energy progressive house, but then I'm also getting like a little bit of like classic melody from the organic house in the emotions that you're trying to portray as well. So it's very important to think about, okay, what direction I want to take this track and what style do I want to like just go hard on, because especially with the toms and stuff you could have created that kind of a lot more groove, but if you allowed the toms to have a little bit more low end and just kind of like duct out the sustained bass line that's going with it. Also at certain points I noticed the arpeggio lead became a little stale. Everything else was progressing nicely, but the arpeggio lead could do more with some modulation. There's also some drum fills that you're using that are lacking impact. I would increase the volume a little bit, maybe add Haas effect to like widen them and make them more prominent, because you're kind of like changing up the vibe after a 16 bar loop, so you want people to notice those very clearly. Overall, though, I did like a lot of the decisions you made arrangement wise. The progression was pretty nice. I think in general, whenever you're thinking about making a track, try to think about the intention of the track a lot, and try to think about like, okay, which direction I want to take it. Do I want to take it the organic vibe, or do I want to make it more progressive and uplifting? And yeah, try to figure out which instruments would be conducive to that vibe versus like taking away from that vibe. And this is something that you develop in like towards the like final step of your career, I think. When labels just this is just before the label starts signing you, and so that's good news for you. It's like you're very close. You just need to work on that little bit of stuff where you understand the styles a little bit better. But good job, man, and thanks again for submitting this track. It's I enjoyed listening to it for sure. All right, next up we have Dono. Dono is another student of mine. He's in San Fran, and his style has become very. I've gotten to know his style, and it's becoming very interested. He's really moved from like really uplifting, happy stuff to slightly darker stuff, but still nicer. Um, yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, let's do it. One.
One, two, three, let's go. that was it. What was it? Good job, man. Digging this one. What did you think, Abel?
Good, I can't.
Can you hear me? No? One second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
1 second. Let me do this.
Are you? It looks like you're muted on Discord.
Yeah, I'm not on Discord, so you should be hearing me from Collab Cam. So let me restart Collab Cam real quick. All right.
I think you're muted on Discord.